That sun is just popping up behind us. Are we going to get any warmer, do you think?
I hope so. I've gone a bit blue here.
Well, good morning everybody, welcome to Sunday morning. And look at this for a view. It's an early start here at Newquay Golf Club with myself and Chris Gill today. We're doing a break par series out here out on the golf course, and we've got ourselves onto the back nine already because we started pretty early. It's a cold day, blowing a little bit, but it is just always stunning to come to Newquay and play this wonderful links golf course just on the edge here of Fistral Beach. We're quite famous for the surfing element of the UK. This is kind of like the hub of surfing for the UK. Luke Dillon, who you've seen probably on the channel before, he's from here as well. He surfs quite a lot out here, competes around the world. British champion this year again, I think. So yeah, we're going to be catching up with Gilly today, have a good chat with him, get him on the show, see how he's getting on during these tough winter months for the pros around the UK at the moment. So yeah, we're going to catch up with him and see what he's been up to.
Man alive.
Tough day, Christopher.
Tough day at the office, me old buddy, innit?
It is a tough day today. It's one of those days where, like I said before, you're battling, and then it gives you nothing.
Yeah.
Takes everything from you. Well, Christopher, welcome to another Sunday morning show.
Do you know what? I'm starting to feel like a regular.
I feel you are a regular. I think, to be fair, I think there's a lot of people out there who would like you to be a regular, but you live 2 hours away from us. So the travel of up and down to sit there and chat with me for 25 minutes is not that inviting,
I think it's quicker for you to get to France.
Yeah. Well, how's things? How's things been? Because we haven't seen you for a little while. We're obviously out here today to try and break par.
Yep.
Which is going to be a challenge because this is tough. Brutally tough. You've been away skiing.
I went skiing. I'll send you some photos of the skiing. So first time any of us had ever been skiing. So myself, my wife, and the two girls, 8 and 10. So first time we ever went, and it's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. I loved it. I'm hooked. Just to master a new skill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is especially when you get a little older, and you know I'm not old yet, but I'm not far off it. Just to master a new skill and to try and learn something new because we've got lessons and stuff. Just loved it.
I'm well into my skiing. It's something that just gets me over the years. It's got me away from golf completely, or what you don't see at golf course, obviously, or anything is when you go away and do it. And it's just the thrill of it.
Yeah.
It's the thrill of it. And I was properly jealous when I saw you heading out there. I was like, "You going skiing?" You're like, yep.
This is going to sound really stupid, but it's as close to golf as I've got.
Really?
You're on your own.
Yeah.
You're against an unknown, so the golf course, the slopes, whatever the case is, and it's just down to you, isn't it? Granted, it hurts a little more than golf when you fall over, but it was just brilliant, and just to be able to go from never put a ski on the sort of foot before and falling over quite quickly to actually we ended up going down a bit of a blue run. So yeah, I would advise it to anybody.
Yes! Finally! On camera!
Don't tell me I picked you up there. How do you get up when you fall over? It's getting harder as we get around this golf course, Christopher.
It's brutal down here, isn't it? It's every time you come down.
I bring the weather.
Well, I thought you come from Torquay, the English
English
Riviera.
100%. I mean, it was
Riviera you're looking at.
Absolutely stunning when I left at 6:30 this morning. I got over that Tamar and it started blowing. So, I got something to talk to you about.
Go on, hit me.
There's been and you may have seen, I don't know if you've had a chance to watch any of the Sunday morning stuff that I've been doing the last couple of weeks, but the last 3 or 4 years have been fantastic for golf, haven't they? And you will have seen it down in Newquay, which is like, it's a holiday destination. Yeah. It's a great spot. So we're seeing lots of golf going on, aren't we? Is membership up here?
Membership we're virtually full.
Right.
So we're 600 and something, I think, now across all sections, which I think for your average members club is pretty decent. Green fees have obviously been up the last few years. I just think there's going to be a huge downturn.
Which we talked about. We talked about that, and it's how the golf clubs manage that. But one of the things that I want to ask you, as the head pro of a golf club who has a retail shop, okay, how's it been the last couple of months?
Awful.
Tough.
It's been really, really tough. November, sort of early, middle of December, you are relying a little bit on the Christmas trade. Yeah. That never really materialised, and then going into January, it's like somebody switched off a tap. There's a lot of contributing factors.
What are you? I'm sure there are. But and what are you hearing around? Like, you're the chairman of Cornwall PGA stuff. You know, what are you hearing from the other Cornish? Because I know you got quite a tight knit community.
Yeah, we got a real good bunch of us actually down here. All the sort of local pros. We all get on really well, which is great. I think the just general consensus is just nobody's spending. We're seeing people, membership hasn't declined yet,
and it's busy,
and it's, which you see, the course is packed. You know, it's don't get me wrong, it's dry, but it's not the nicest day to be playing golf. We're absolutely rafted with people, so seeing people hasn't dropped. Bar takings have been okay. They've been you know, I don't think they've been setting the world alight, but they've been doing all right. But the actual, what I would call your secondary spend, your luxury spend, a new glove, new pair of shoes, new, obviously, as you've touched on the last few weeks, new equipment have just come out. I just don't see the uptake. I really don't. No, unfortunately.
Difficult. And on that note, then, prices of equipment. And again, I wanted to speak to you about this because obviously it has risen up. It has risen up. What's your thoughts on that? How's your second-hand market going? How's your trade-ins? How's your ex demos going?
Going all right at the minute. The only thing in our favour, and this is the only thing in our favour, is the fact that everything's gone up.
Yeah.
So it isn't just golf equipment.
Life in general's gone up.
You know, everyone's paying more at home. Everyone's paying more to go to eat, to drink, and golf's no different. Yeah. But it's the little spends. You know, it's like I said, it's those secondary spends. It's that coming in and going, oh, I could do with a new sort of jumper, and that's now turning into, actually, do you know what, I'll keep this one till next spring and see how we get on. That's the way that I'm seeing the industry go, and that's the way the rest of the guys have kind of worded it to me as well. And I don't think, you know, in Cornwall we get battered a bit more in the winter. Yeah. But I'm not moaning about that because we get the fruits of the labour in the summer. Yeah. So I'm just hoping for a good spring, good summer. But I do fear for an awful lot of, as you touched on, golf clubs, but I do fear for a lot of golf pros and anyone in the retail industry. I think it's going to be a really tough 2 years, I think, really tough.
Agree.
So last hole, just getting a bit chilly, isn't it?
That hood has been flapping about all day, and you like a good hood though, don't you? On the golf course. Look at it. It's almost like it's inside out. Oh, I haven't asked you, how was skiing? In fact, no, we'll do that. We don't talk about that. We'll do that for the Sunday show.
Sunday show.
Sunday show, yeah.
All right, cool.
Anyway, it's just not gone.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Oh, I'm wrapped up like a little trooper, aren't I?
No, wrapped up.
Got enough? Got enough layers on?
Got about 4 on.
10 years you've now been head pro, coming up to 10 years.
Yeah.
At Newquay Golf Club.
April the 19th, 2013. So yeah, I was actually on the range at Trevose when the call came through to offer me the job. So that was a bit weird. Obviously, just up there playing in the festival. It's obviously nice we got the festival back with us, the Point and Trevose as well. So yeah, 10 years. It has pretty much flown by. Before that, you were basically tour, weren't you? Yeah. You literally lived your life in a suitcase, travelling around, playing golf as much as you possibly could. I know you played a lot of regional golf, but you also were on the main tour as well, doing some bits around Asian tour and stuff. What was it that kind of made you go from a playing world to then, you know, then coming into like literally like full-on retail
mania.
Like most kids, especially that played, we all started off in the shop, didn't we? So at 13, 14, 15, I used to work in the shop. I was at Morton Hampstead, which is now Bovey Castle, which we obviously do a lot of stuff. And then I went from there to down to Crediton, where our good friend Barry was. Now he's just retired. And then to Exeter and stuff, and just did a few hours in the shop and nothing major. And then our little daughter Poppy was born November 12, and Catherine, my wife, said it was about time you got a proper job, which I wasn't overly keen about. But obviously I didn't really want to be travelling. I've got a newborn baby. I wanted to just trying to sort of stay home as much as I could, and this job came up in the January 13, and I said got offered it in the April. So yeah, 10 years it's gone pretty quick, but it has been, it's been great. It's been exciting. There's been a few downs, not very many, but mainly ups, and it has been great fun.
And probably one of the best things I heard you chatting about today was how the kids, the juniors, we've seen a few of them out there. It's actually Walkout Wednesday here in the UK, which is the teachers are on strike. So like loads of, we thought it was like a junior comp going on.
Didn't know what was going on. No. Why are these kids at school? This is a bit weird.
But yeah, to see when you first came here, to see that, I think it was, what's her name from? Gemma. So Gemma, yeah. Down at Trevose, she was one of the only juniors here.
She was the only one we had at the time. And then I spent the first, I don't know, 6 months, I suppose, trying to sort junior coaching. And then Josh, he was over there behind the counter,
packing away all the stuff. Give us a wave, Josh. Give us a wave.
Lovely time this afternoon, unpacking golf balls. Josh just now has taken it on, and he's absolutely smashed it. We've now got 60, 70 odd juniors, I think, Joshy, isn't it? Got loads of single figure juniors now.
Brilliant.
But more importantly, and I think like most of the members will even go with us now, is they all get on as well. We have a really good camaraderie with the we call them kids, not kids, you know, they're juniors, and they are brilliant, and they're so well behaved, and they're so polite, you know, they are a proper asset to the golf club now.
And interestingly, you talk about single figure golfers. You know, we've just been out there and playing, and we won't give away the scores, but it was tough. Like, you've got to think around the golf course very differently in that environment than you do, let's say, pegging it up on a parkland course, or where there's not a great deal of wind. There's so many different types of shots that they have to learn. Did you think that helps them become better golfers? Do you think that helps them to get lower?
100%. If you can learn any form of golf, especially as a kid, links golf is the way forward for a number of reasons. Your margins are a little bit bigger for your misses. You know, you're going to a bunker, so you don't lose balls, or if you're a parkland, you're going to trees or lakes or whatever the case is. But you have to hit so many different shots, and you'll see it in the the two-part videos. There were sometimes we had to flop shot, sometimes we had to bump and run, sometimes you're trying to keep the flight down with the driver, or you're trying to use the wind, or it isn't one-dimensional. And I think that's the only way that you can really learn how to play the game. You have to be you must be able to adapt to what the golf course and what the golf shot asks of you, really.
Well, that was a blustery day down at Newquay. Fantastic to catch up with Gilly and just to see what kind of goes on in his little world in that pro shop down there, how he has to deal with the day-to-day of the golf club's environment, how to deal with retail. Don't forget, this video is in association with Golfing Days, an amazing trip coming up in September. Myself and the guys are heading out on a hosted trip to Lofoten Links. As you can see from the video that I'm showing you now, is absolutely spectacular. One of those kind of bucket list trips that I've been wanting to do for some time, so I cannot wait to get out there with Ollie and Mark to see, and even get the opportunity to maybe even see the Northern Lights. And if you're interested in joining us on the Lofoten Links trip, then head down to the description of this video where there'll be a little bit more information for you. So what's coming up next week on the channel? Well, we are going to be heading down to Trevose. Myself, Joe the Pro, and my brother Paul teed it up in the Devon and Cornwall PGA. The quality of the golf that was played, certainly by Joe, when you get to see that video, is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Trevose in spectacular condition as always, and the drone footage that we managed to get from this trip with Jordan and I was absolutely fantastic. Just where the sun was dropping down, getting the shadows across the golf course, absolutely beautiful. We've also got
the Hendriksen driver review coming out on the channel this week. I know lots of people have been in the comments messaging us saying that they wanted to see what's happening with the new Mark II ZX7 and number 5. Well, this week we're going to be putting them head to head, give you a bit of an idea of what they look like, what they feel like, and then give you the numbers on how they perform. So stay tuned for that as well. And then lastly, I headed down to Bude Golf Club for the Devon and Cornwall PGA event this week. Didn't manage to get the camera out filming it, but I did get a few clips for you to finish off this video. Enjoy.
Oh, it's gone miles.